All right, guys. Well, good morning. This is something kind of new that we are doing. It's training every day of the week. This is really going to help out the new guys, especially you guys that have teams. I highly encourage you guys to have your teams hop on because you're going to get more advanced training than they would if they didn't show up, So as you guys know, the more you learn, the more you earn. That's like one of the biggest facts when it comes to sales. So what I wanted to do today is I wanted to go over a couple of objections that are very common in the field. And on top of going over them, I want to explain the psychology behind what I do to overcome them. And I think it's really important to not only understand what I say, but understand the psychology of what I do to overcome the objection, okay? So I want to start off by asking one of the newer guys on the team. I see Carlos Hernandez is on the call. I want to ask Carlos, what is one objection that you see that's very common that you would like G Money to answer and overcome for you and explain how he does it?
What's up, G Money?
What's good,
on,
man?
how you doing?
I'm doing fucking amazing, man. Today's a great day.
Yeah,
Go out there and make some money. So my question to you, Carlos, is what is like a common objection that you might find kind of hard, kind of difficult that you'd like a veteran to go over and explain? Me and Mo, we are part of this company, and we've been here for quite a bit. So there's a lot of things that we've seen and a lot of things that we see a lot. So I want to go over it first, and then I'm gonna let Mo give his like little 2 cents on how he overcomes it.
All right. So sometimes they're paying like 140 with Spectrum, right? And we could drop it down to 95, right, for all three services. But as soon as they hit a TV, they just say no. They're like, no, I don't want it. And like we explained to them that it comes in a bundle, but they still say they don't want it.
Okay, booyah. I got you. Carlos, so check this shit out. This is the psychology behind this whole thing. They don't want to get forced into getting anything. Just like any human being, it's human nature that when someone's trying to force you to do something, you just say no. Like, for example, whenever I'm forced to do anything, I kind of like don't want to do it. Just for the simple fact that I'm being forced, and I'm like a very type A alpha male. Like, you don't fucking tell me what to do, So it's just human nature. That's just who it is. But what I do when it comes to situations where they don't want the TV, because let's be real, the majority of business owners don't want TV. Yes or no? That's just a fact. They just don't want it. Like they don't want their customers to watch it. They don't have need for it. It's a fucking business. They're just trying to make money. So what I do, plain and simply, is I tell them, okay, sure, no problem. I'm just trying to save you some money. But if you just go with phone and internet, and I this is made up. I don't know if this is true or not, but it works 95% of the time. I say, look, you could do just phone and internet, but because you're not getting the promotion, it's just going to be $120 for both. So it's going to be $60 phone, $60 internet. So we could do that. But if you get the TV, you qualify for the all for less bundle, all for less promo, and it'll actually lower your bill. So you could get phone, internet, and TV. And I don't say 95 unless I'm in the non-HCM area. But if I'm in the HCM area, I say 85. And I said, you get phone, internet, TV, 85 with that promotion. But if you don't want the TV, and I draw like a little, like I like use my hands. If I remove the TV from the bundle and you just have phone and internet, you're gonna be paying 120. So I could do that, but I would just recommend you get the TV, even if you don't use it. And that's when they start saying like, oh, but I don't have need for it. What if I don't watch it? And then that's when you just say like, oh, it's okay. A lot of customers don't watch the TV. They just get it for the savings, So, dude, that's such an easy one to overcome. So next time you see that, I want you to say, don't force them. Don't force them to get the TV. Just give them the option. Okay, I can do phone and internet 120, or I can do the whole bundle for 95, and then watch they choose because for the simple fact that you're not twisting their arm on forcing them to get something, they are more likely to choose that because it's just common sense. It's mathematically going to benefit them according to you, the salesman. So they're going to go ahead and choose the one that benefits you. So I hope that helps, Carlos. I want to see how Mo would address that one.
Yeah, definitely. I want to thank you, G Money. I want to drop my 2 cents on that, and what I will say is, to be honest with you, Carlos, man, like it's just smooth. What I mean by that is, first of all, $85 is a layup from 140. So you want to emphasize on that one thing first, the price. You're saving them $55 a month, right? So if you emphasize that times 12, you already show them that they're already saving over 600 a month. That's one plus. Now you want to value and emphasize every product, right? So they have Spectrum Internet, which is a broad versus AT&T, direct fiber to the business, and therefore you emphasize that. The what we would say is customers with Spectrum, they have a broadband sharing network where if your neighbor is using the network at the same time as you have chances of the internet dropping or buffering versus us giving a direct line to your business. So in an example, what we do is we can say, hey, it's like you've been in the freeway with AT&T in the carpool lane versus Spectrum in traffic trying to get to your space. So it's more reliable and it's future proof for the internet, right? And then you want to emphasize on the phone as well. You have long distance included, and therefore, as far as you emphasize on every single product, you show the value of the price and you show them the savings. It's a win-win-win. Hey, Mr. Customer, you're getting an internet phone and TV versus the internet phone that you currently had, so you're getting more for less. We want to help you. We're here to help you, not hurt you. And at the end of the day, it's a win. It's just really it's just that timing. You have to really engage them at the timing. You don't want to let them think about it. You move forward with it. We don't ask questions. We tell them what's gonna happen. So, but simple as that. It's like pulling the bill, right? Hey, can you go grab your bill? No, grab your bill. Let me see what I can do for you. There's a big difference in those two things. So that's what I have for you today, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah, man.
Awesome.
So when you guys see that objection in the field today, I want you guys to use what you guys are learning today and watch that this shit actually works. We're not just saying it because we want to sound cool. We're saying it because we're trying to get paid and because it works. All right.
Hey.
Next up, I see Eddie. On the call. He's one of our newest members of the team. On top, he's one of our newest leaders. So, Eddie, what's like one of the objections that you're seeing in the field that you need help overcoming?
All right, so I got this one a couple times yesterday. I get it kind of a lot, like when they say that they've had a bad experience with AT&T, and they're like, I don't trust them no more, and this and that. Tell me how to figure that one.
All right. That one's a tough one. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like fuck, like your ex-girlfriend cheated on you 5 times. Like how many more times are you gonna let her cheat on you? But so it is tough. Don't get me wrong. That one is one of the tougher ones. However, it is overcomable. Now, it all depends on how bad the customer has gotten screwed over. Mm-hmm. Because I've signed up customers that have that same issue, that they're like, no, I got fucked by AT&T in the past, blah blah blah. But then they still sign up to AT&T. So I've seen that before. But I've also seen it where I try, but they just like been too, burnt. And so that fish is too burnt, man. It's like hard. You gotta give it fucking like years to heal. But so anyways, sometimes you could overcome it. And the way I do it is I just try hearing them out and making sure that they like really vent it all out, so that way they don't like feel like, oh, he's just trying to sell me. I want them to feel like, oh, he's actually listening to me. He's actually trying to see if he could help me. And then I try to like really actively listen so I can make sure that I address whatever their issues were. Sometimes it was like their billing got screwed up. Sometimes it was like the internet sucked because they said it was going to be this, and then it was actually this. Mm-hmm. So it's important that when you're actively listening, that when you communicate to the customer, you kind of like communicate back the problems that you heard, and then communicate how you fixed it. So, for example, like let's say his issue was that the billing got screwed up. Yeah. And just we relate back to him like, some customers have that issue, but recently we've like revamped our whole billing department. So now that's why we're giving these low rates, because of this and this and this. But that one is just super important that they trust you and they like you, which I don't think that's a hard thing for you to do, Eddie. 'Cause I think you're a very likable person.
Thank you.
I think it all starts with hearing them and trying to like make sure that they feel like they were heard. Okay, because a lot of salespeople make the mistake of not actively listening, and when they don't actively listen, they're just trying to fucking sell a product, and then that just pisses everybody off. Because then they don't make a sale, they leave pissed, and then the customer's like, "Man, get the fuck out of here, fuck you, AT&T," So just try to be their friend. That's like the best advice I could give you for that.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
If it was one of your homies and he got fucked over by AT&T, like how would you treat him? You would be like, "Oh, that fucking sucks." But and just try to make him feel like he was heard. So that's my advice to you.
All right, cool.
So yeah, thank you, G. So as far as that goes, Eddie, just like G Money said, you really have to hear the customer out, and more importantly, what I see is I just you gotta be on their side, which is like G Money, you gotta be a friend, and like for example, like I hear your experience. I know you had a bad experience with the past rep or with AT&T, but now we have better leadership. I'm actually out here helping you out. I'm not on the phone. And we have a verification process for anything. If you have any questions, so we have everything that we need to truly succeed within the field of actually helping this customer out. Because past experiences don't define current experience, So you're gonna be the man showing them what their current experience will be like. And like G Money said, I've been out there in the field with you too, bro. You're a very likable person, and it's Scooby snacks for you, man. It's a layup.
Cool.
Scooby snacks.
Yeah.
Hey, I do need to add a comment. So you guys seen how I got 2 sales yesterday, right? The first sale that I got, it was actually the same exact situation we're talking about right now. He got burnt over by AT&T. It was a different third-party dealer. I even saw their order form and everything. And one of his biggest issues was that whenever he tried to call the company, they didn't answer. So me being the active listener, right, I was like, all right, look, if you don't have to do anything with us today, but if you were to call us, I'm from AT&T's CMC solution provider team. I literally said it like that. I even pointed to CMC's logo on the order form. And I was like, look, if you were to be a customer of ours, what would happen is like you would have access to this number here. And I highlighted the solution provider office number. So, and I was like, look, if you want, you can even try it out. Test it. Call it right now. Let's see what happens. So he called it. He called my bluff, and he called it and he pushed option 1. And Lupe answered the phone. And I was so happy because like his whole issue was that no one answered the phone when he called. And then Lupe answered and he was asking her like just bullshit questions, and then she answered him really professionally. So I was really proud of that moment. And he was sold from that point on. And then over here, I'm over here in the background, and I'm just like, hell yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty much how you handle it. You just got to listen, be a friend, and be patient. Don't just try to force DirecTV in his butt. You just got to be patient with it. Ease into it. All right, cool. So that was great. Now, what I want to do, guys, is I want to kind of transition into moving forward to a little bit of the objections that I've come across in my field, in my experience. And I think these are ones that are very common. And I think these are ones that if you know how to handle them, you'll handle them with ease. And like Mo said, they'll be Scooby snacks. Okay? So the first one, and I'm sure you guys have all heard this shit before. Like the customer is in front of you. They're qualified. They're paying too much. They have the bill. You know that you could sell this customer, but they're busy. They're busy as shit. They tell you, come back tomorrow. Okay? Now, can you guys see what's wrong with that situation? The whole point is that they're trying to blow you off. They come back tomorrow is just another way to tell you no to your face. But as a salesman, more importantly, as a closer, it's imperative to us that we move forward past those no's, that we go past the no's and we get to the yeses. So a lot of times when they say come back tomorrow, it's probably because they're busy right then and there at the moment. That does not mean that if you come back later that same day, or if you just wait in the lobby, that you can't close that deal. Okay. Hugo, I need you to mute your mic, please, because there's a lot of background noise. It's all good though. So when they say come back tomorrow, one of the things that I do is I try to like see and analyze how busy they actually are, because sometimes they're really busy. They're like working on a car or something. They're like doing some freaking financial analysis on like a client or whatever. But I try to make my judgment and see like, okay, what if I wait here and I'll just talk to him for 30 seconds when he's on his when he has like a little 2-minute break. And then, so for example, customer I signed up on Monday, he told me to come back tomorrow, and he said that we'll do it tomorrow. Me knowing that I'm a closer and I don't take no for an answer, I was like, okay, sounds good. Let me just sit here and fill out this paperwork. You go ahead back to work, right? So I didn't leave. I stayed in there. I started filling out the order form. I started filling out everything. Then he took a little break. The little dude, he took a little break, and he started drinking a freaking can of Coke. And I was like, amigo, ¿tienes 30 segundos? You know, I know for a fact that when I'm closing somebody, it doesn't take 30 seconds. But I'm a salesman, so I'm getting my foot in the door by saying, look, give me 30 seconds. That's it, you know. So I'm over here going over the order form with him, right? And I'm going over it, and I'm like, okay, once I finish going over this, just tell me yes or no, and then we can move forward. So I already prepped him by saying that. So I'm going over the order form, and I tell him at the very end, after the recap, I'm like, okay, so what do you think? Yes? We got a deal? And I was helping him out. I was saving him like $10 on his Uverse bill, and I was giving him a free TV, and I was giving him a home account, which is something that he didn't have before. So because I am a closer and I understand that just because he says come back tomorrow doesn't mean I should really come back tomorrow, I got that sale on Monday, you know, and I think I got installed already. So that's a big way to overcome that. Just like stay in the pocket, stay in the business, and just like wait for the moment to strike, kind of like a cobra wheezing through the grass, you know, like you're very patient. And when you see the opportunity to strike, figuratively, of course, you strike. Also, let's say, for example, you're feeling the vibe that they're kicking you out of the business. They're kicking you out of the business because they're so busy. Okay, fine. I'll come back tomorrow. On your way back to your car, or later on, give them like 3 hours, 2 hours, whatever. You pay them another visit, and then you just tell them like, hey, I was about to get going in the area. Do you have like a minute so I can talk to you a little bit about this? And oftentimes, more often than not, you'll actually catch them in a better mood, and you'll catch them like sometimes when they're already done with a lot of their work, so they're not as busy. So now, although they did say come back tomorrow, you could sign them up today. So you see that? So when you guys see that come back tomorrow, that doesn't mean necessarily come back tomorrow. And now let me explain why you don't want to come back tomorrow. Because there's this thing called buyer's regret. Although they didn't even buy from you, they might go home and then like the whole impulse of buying from you has dropped. So now you see them again the next day. Now they're comfortable. Now they look at you kind of like annoying. Now they're kind of like, oh, you know, I think I'm just going to stay. I think me voy a quedar como estoy aquí. I'm just going to chill. I don't want to make any changes. Now, when it comes to that, now you just lost a sale. See, you try to be patient. You try to be patient and get this guy what he wanted, and you lost the sale. Now you go home. Now you're sad. You know? So be a closer and follow up the same day. Follow up multiple times that day, you know? Close that deal. Don't let that deal fall through between your fingers, okay? Because it's money on the table, and this is an industry where if you don't hunt, you don't kill, you don't eat, right? So if I know that he's qualified and I could sell him, I'm trying to close. I'm prioritizing this guy before I leave the field. Make sense? He's my priority. I know I could sell him. I'm going to sell him, you know, before the day ends. So keep that in mind, guys. Mo, I want you to talk about one of the objections that you've seen in the field that you think that these guys could benefit a lot from you going on a 2-cent talk on them.
Awesome. Thank you. So you talked about hanging in the pocket, right? So straight up. So follow through with that. We have a problem with businesses sometimes where customers they say, hey, they get kind of skeptical. Hey, I don't have a bill. I don't have one. My wife take care of it, whatever, right? So when customers come across that saying, hey, I don't have a bill, come back tomorrow, just like going off of what Jill was saying, we have the option, which is the CMC back office support, to actually pull up your bill for those of you who don't know. So if a customer does not have an AT&T bill, what we can do is we can get the customer's consent first. Okay, no problem, Mr. Customer or Mrs. Customer. Do you have a business card? I can go ahead and pull up the bill myself. You just got to give me 15 minutes. You can continue doing your work. I'll be right here hanging out with the customers, whatever, right? So therefore, what you have to do is get the business card, fill out the LOA, get it signed by the customer, get an email, submit it to the back office, and once that happens, the back office goes ahead and sends you the information. But now, what I would do to follow through with is this: you gotta ask qualifying questions. All right, Mr. Customer, before I do get this information, how many phone lines do you have? You have 2 lines? Awesome. You have internet as well? Great. How much are you paying? I'm paying like $250 right now. Cool. So now you got to go with what the customer says. If the customer is saying they're paying $250, awesome. Go with what they say because they're gonna believe what they're saying, right? Now to continue on, so now back to the back office. So once they give you the information, all right, cool. They have 2 phone lines. They have internet. They're currently paying about $200 a month. So the differences between what the office is saying and what the customer is saying, go with what the customer is saying. Why? It's because you're still going to provide value to the customer. You're going to save them money. And now you can turn that little select into an extra pack just by off of what the customer is saying.
Ooh.
So that's a big gem right there because
That's a good one, bro.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
100%.
You guys make. I had that one happen to me not too long ago.
Really explain. I want to hear.
So I've had that happen to me so many times, and I always upsell, right? Because you go by what the customer's saying and so on. For the first time last week though, or like 2 weeks ago, it came and bit me in the back, you know?
Really?
Because the customer saw that she was paying $398 through her checking account, right? So I said, and she only got 2 phone lines. I was like, this is easy money. Or what would you say? It's like, peanuts or whatever you guys like to call it. Yeah. So I went ahead, I got her with the extra and everything, and boom, everything got verified. And then she talked to her accountant, and then her accountant let me know that she wasn't paying as much as she got. So I'm like, oh, that's not the case. Let me see if I can still get you with the select. I can still help you save some money. But it was already too late. It was too late. So just make sure that they really, like, if they tell you something and they don't have the resources, and go based off what they're saying, help them out as much as you can because you're helping them out. But if they're really not doing that much, paying that much, then be careful because it could lose you a sale. Some profit is always better than no profit. Just remember that.
100%. Thank you, Speedy. So as Speedy shares his story, that was a great point of view. And you see what he did right there, even that it bit him back, he still reacted with, well, okay, if I can give you the extra, I'm gonna give you the select. Some money is better than no money, so go get your money. So yes, that's what I have for this what do you call it? For this topic, go for it, G Money. What's something else that the people in the field, our people in the field can work with to get better and improve on?
Okay. So the last one is not really like an objection that the customer gives you. The last one that I had here on my list is an objection that you give yourself. You give yourself this objection. Okay, this is what I mean by this. What I see with a lot of like newer cats when it comes to sales, and especially when it comes to door-to-door sales, is they get a little nervous of hitting the field, and they get like this thing called like paralysis by analysis, and they just chill in their car for extended periods of time, or they don't work full days, or they don't get out of their car. That's like the first step. So my whole point is sometimes you get in your own way by your thoughts. There's been times where even myself, like I've had thoughts of like just anxiousness of hitting the field because it is kind of pushing your comfort zone. You know, you do got to go out there and meet new people, and sometimes you are alone. A lot of times you are alone. But even when you're alone, just you just got to relate and think that you're not alone because you have this whole team that's out here in the field with you. Not only that, but you have the back office in your pocket on your phone. If you wanted to call somebody from the back office, they will answer. So you're never really alone. But you just got to get out of your own way and make sure that you're hitting the field strong and you're hitting the field with a purpose. When you go out there and you're driving to your territory, you should get excited, man. You should get excited to go out there and hit the doors. You shouldn't be waiting in your car and like thinking like, oh God, here I go again. No, just because you're really just talking to people and having conversations. That's not hard at all. You get paid to have conversations with people. So getting out of the car is step number one. Step number two is just working the whole field. I've seen reps before that have come and gone that one of the big mistakes that they do is they skip doors because they're intimidated. For example, some people skip nail salons because there's a lot of beautiful women in there. The thought of that doesn't make sense in my head. I love beautiful women, so I'll go in there every time, So it all depends on how you position it in your head. But it's really important that you get out of your own way and you just do it. You just do it, man. You just get out there and you do it because that's the thing that's going to get you that skill, the thing that's going to get you that repetition that you need in order to get better. So if you're over here just thinking about it, you're going to keep thinking about it while I'm fucking go cash out check. You know what I mean? While the team's out here making money. So get out of your own way. Make sure you're hitting the field properly. Follow the 7 habits that your leader teaches you. Make sure that you're not thinking about it too much because all that thinking causes anxiety, causes stress. But if you take action, it alleviates the anxiety. So if you're ever going through a phase where you're just getting anxious of hitting the field or getting nervous of talking to customers, just take action, man. Massive action. Just do.
Hey,
and you're going to see the results follow. I know a lot of times when you're barely starting out, it is uncomfortable. But when you get that skill and you start seeing that sale and you start seeing that, holy shit, bro, like this shit's real. I'm out here making money. I'm out here learning. I'm out here growing as a person, as an individual. I'm learning and being better at public speaking. I'm learning how to talk without saying I'm learning how to do all this stuff. Like you're gaining so much more skills just by getting out there and taking action. So my biggest thing from today, on top of all the objections, is just get yourself out of your own way, man. Just get out there and go do, because you're the one that's going to stop you from making money. You're the one that's going to be able to make money, Like I said earlier, this is an industry where if you don't kill, you don't eat. But if you learn how to become good at killing, you'll make a killing. You know what I mean? So take that for advice. And if you ever feel like, man, you need some help or something like that, you could always reach out to the office, or you could always reach out to your partner, or your leader. So don't be afraid. Don't be discouraged just because like yesterday was a rough day or anything like that. You're going to get better over time. So just got to keep going, keep running through the doors, because while you're over here thinking about it and not doing, you could be taking action and making money. 2 sales in a day, that's already $300. You need $300 a day to make $100,000 in a year, right? So that should be motivation enough. So just go out there and go do. So I'm gonna pass it back to Mo Money. Let's see, what was the last objection you had for these guys?
Yeah, so the last objection that I had was as far as, which is, first of all, Jim, thank you, man. That was great. I really appreciate that, and that's some key notes there. And before I continue to the objection, I do want to add something to that. Everybody, we all have a purpose in life, and you got to fulfill it. The bills don't pay itself. You got to pay the bills yourself, right? So you have to really go out there and just think about your future and your purpose. We get lost in the sauce sometimes, but a real boss really have to catch himself and get back into routine, get back into position to winning, right? So it's okay. Nobody's perfect, but as long as you catch the problem and execute, you're going to win, regardlessly. So definitely go out there, get out of your own way, and focus every day to achieving that goal. Yeah, that's big. That's big. But yeah, so back to the objections, right? So my last objection that I want to say that a lot of people can get is direct TV, right? Some people, the installation portion. So customers say, hey, I don't want direct TV. That's one objection, right? Or landlord does not approve direct TV on the roof, right? That's two of them. That's common. Another one is, say, even when the technician goes and installs, something goes wrong, whatever. What are the solutions that we have now that we can execute? So great to say that, the world is ours, right? And we got to go and take it. So on this note, we have opportunities that are unlimited. So you got to think about that. So if the business can't get installed, go for it. Ask them, hey, can we install it at your house? No, I don't want DirecTV at my house. No problem. Do you have a friend or a grandma that can want it? And, maybe your grandma might want to watch TV. So you want to find a solution. Keep picking at it, and until you find a solution. But as far as the DirecTV goes, there's always a solution to get it installed, and that's your money maker. That's what's gonna pay you. So just understand that not a customer giving an objection saying, "Hey, I don't want DirecTV," landlord doesn't approve. We have a solution for you now. We can install it at your house. We can install it at your granny's house, at your girlfriend's house, wherever you want it. We have a solution, and it will be provided. Yeah, so that's what I got for y'all for the last objection. And yeah, the more you learn, the more you earn. Go out there and get paid and get yourself made.
Hey, Mo,
Yes, sir.
you forgot to put your pinky up, bro.
Oh, put your pinky up. There you go. You right,
Hell yeah.
bro.
All right, guys. Before we end this call, is there anything else you guys would like any one of the leaders, the partners on the call to address? I hear crickets. All right, guys. So take this to the bank, guys. The way we make sales is by coming off as an expert. And you come off as an expert by learning new things in your field. So I hope this helped you guys. And if you guys need any help, reach out to me or Mo or your partners. And then let's go get paid, baby. Thanks for being on the call.
All right, everybody. Take care.